The cruelest betrayal doesn't come from enemies. It comes from the ones who called you family, who called you friend. And now, chosen one, the same people who betrayed you out of jealousy are realizing they didn't ruin your life. They ruined their own. Now imagine this for a moment, chosen one. You're holding a priceless diamond in your hand, and someone close to you, someone you trusted, snatches it away, thinking they've stolen your fortune. They run off laughing, convinced they've destroyed you. But what they don't know is that what they took wasn't the true treasure. The diamond they stole was nothing more than a decoy, while the real crown, the real empire, was already being built for you. And today, they sit there staring at a fake jewel that has lost all its shine, while you are glowing brighter than ever before. Here's a fact that hits them where it hurts. Studies in psychology confirm that envy corrodes from the inside out. Jealousy doesn't just eat away at relationships, it eats away at the person who carries it. The same way acid burns through metal, envy burns through the soul of the betrayer. They thought they were clever, but chosen one, their own jealousy, has made them their worst enemy. Another fact. Betrayal trauma is proven to change a person's brain structure, forcing them to rewire, to become sharper, stronger, more resilient than before. So while they thought they broke you, science itself says they created a stronger version of you, and now they can't escape the truth. And thank you, chosen one, for being here. Don't forget to pay this message back by simply pressing the like and subscribe button to help spread this message to more souls. It's the responsibility of all of us to spread the light, to make sure the truth reaches every ear that needs to hear it. Thank you, chosen one, for being part of this mission. You are not just a listener, you are part of a force. Now let's return to where it all began. This betrayal didn't come from strangers lurking in the shadows. No, it came from the people you opened your heart to, the ones you defended, the ones you would have sacrificed for without hesitation. That's why it cut so deep. It wasn't about the person they ran off with, the opportunity they tried to snatch, or the inheritance they thought they stole. It was about the audacity of someone you trusted, looking you in the eyes and then sticking a knife in your back. And for a moment, chosen one, it almost worked. The heartbreak was heavy, the nights felt endless, and your mind kept asking, why me? How could they? But here's the undeniable truth. Nothing was stolen from you. There was no destiny swap. What you thought was yours was simply a lesson in disguise, a mirror held up to show you your own worth. The universe doesn't hand chosen ones scraps. It never allows your throne to be taken away by the jealous hands of small-minded people. At most, your enemies can create a delay, but they can never deny you. What's yours is woven into the fabric of existence, and no betrayal, no lie, no manipulation can erase it. Think about history for a moment. Empires have fallen, kings have been dethroned, and riches have been stolen. But true power always returns to its rightful owner. Julius Caesar was betrayed by those closest to him, but his legacy outlived every dagger. Tesla was mocked and sabotaged by his rivals, but his vision built the world we live in today. Chosen one, your story echoes this same truth. Betrayal is only the beginning of legacy. The betrayal you endured was not the ending your enemies hoped for. It was the fire that forged you. They thought they stripped you bare, but what they really did was expose your true strength. They thought they'd broken you down, but they accidentally broke down the illusions you were living in. What looked like a loss was the universe's way of clearing your path. And now, while they sit with nothing but regret, you stand taller, wiser, stronger. And let's tease the enemy for a moment. Imagine them scrolling through your life now, seeing the glow in your face, the confidence in your walk, the doors opening for you one after another. They're haunted, not because they miss you, but because they know they lost the very thing they can never recreate: your presence, your light, your loyalty. They thought they had won, but all they did was curse themselves with a lifetime of what-ifs. This is why betrayal, as painful as it was also your awakening. It was the beginning of your transformation. You were never broken, you were reborn. The heartbreak they caused you was the seed of your greatness. And every time they think of what they did, they realize the same thing. In trying to ruin you, they ruined themselves. And Chosen One, don't go anywhere yet. What you've just heard was only the opening strike. That was the thunder before the storm. The real picture, the deeper truth about how jealousy poisoned their spirit and how betrayal backfired on them, is just about to unfold. Are you ready to walk with me through every layer of this story? Step by step, we're going to expose exactly how their envy destroyed them and elevated you. Drop a comment with the number 44 if you're ready to claim the strength that came from your heartbreak. And if you can, bless this mission with a super thanks, because every gift fuels this message and pushes it further into the world where it's needed. You are part of something bigger, Chosen One, and your energy keeps the light spreading. And now, let's dive into it step by step. Believe me, if you are truly a chosen one, you will feel the pull to stay until the very end of this message, because every word is a mirror, showing you who you are and showing them exactly what they lost. So, lean in, let's get started. Number 1. The illusion of a stolen destiny. You thought stealing my life would make you king. All you did was build me an empire with your own 2 hands. Congratulations, you crowned me. Close your eyes and picture this. Someone reaches into your story and rips out a chapter they didn't write. They smile as they walk away, convinced they've rewritten your ending. That's the image your enemy clings to, the lie that they took your destiny. But Chosen One, destiny is not a physical thing they can pocket or pawn. Destiny is a pattern, a force, a thread pulled tight through your choices, your grit, and the work you do in the quiet. When someone rips at a single thread, the whole weave tightens. What they call theft, the universe calls pressure. Pressure turns coal into diamond. Your so-called loss became the kiln that made your diamond unbreakable. They believe they've stolen more than a person, a house, or a title. They believe they stole your future. Let them believe it. Let them sleep on that illusion while you wake up to the truth. Remember Thomas Edison, laughed at, pushed aside, told to quit, who lit up the world anyway. Remember Oprah Winfrey, stolen from, pushed out, written off, who used what was taken as fuel for a ladder that reached the stars. Their enemies celebrated small wins. Their enemies wrote headlines, but neither Edison nor Oprah had their futures taken. Their setbacks were the very instruments that tuned them for greatness. That is your blueprint. You might be asking, what if they actually have something I needed? An inheritance, a job, a person? The short answer is, it's temporary. The longer answer is, what you truly needed was never that thing. It was the strength you would only find when it was gone. Think of the seed that will not sprout in the safety of a glass jar. It needs the cold, the soil, the darkness. It needs stress to push roots deep. Your loss is not a finality. It is a test, a prompt, an activation code. The person or object they took was a decoy or a lesson. The universe designs decoys so the chosen can learn to hunt in new ways. They want you to believe their version of the story because that keeps them comfortable. If they stole your place, then their place feels justified. If they convinced others you were the problem, they sleep better at night. But envy is a poor architect. Buildings built on envy crumble fast. Jealousy creates shortcuts and lies. Shortcuts break under pressure. Meanwhile, your path is being rebuilt with honest labor, skill, discipline, patience. Those things last. You will look back at what they stole and laugh, not because you're cold, but because you finally see the bigger design. Here's a truth that will sting them. Stealing never creates creation. It only destroys. Real creation is born of sacrifice, practice, and time. Nelson Mandela lost decades for his cause and didn't have anything stolen from him that mattered. His vision outlived the bars. J.K. Rowling had doors slammed in her face and had her life rearranged, but those slams shaped the stories that changed millions. You are on the same axis. Their theft is a wooden plank on the bridge you will cross. It's not the bridge, it's the plank you'll step over while new bridges are built beneath your feet. You might wonder, but what if I still hurt? What if I wake up some mornings feeling empty? Good. Feeling is the currency of transformation. Grief is not your enemy. Stagnation is. Allow the grief to teach you. Let it sharpen your senses. Every time you feel the old pain, answer it with action. Plant one new habit. Relearn one skill. Move 3 degrees forward. Small motions compound. The person who took from you wanted to freeze you in that moment. Do the opposite. Move. Build momentum. Momentum becomes reputation. Reputation becomes return. Ask yourself this: who benefits from believing your destiny can be stolen? The answer is simple: the insecure, the jealous. People who cannot build their own legacy, so they vandalize others. They pick at the edges of your life because they lack the courage to construct the center of their own. Let that be their indictment. Your job is not to fix them. Your job is to become undeniable. Make your life so luminous that their shadow is irrelevant. You may also wonder, is this revenge? No, revenge is a mirror that keeps you in the past. Rising is not revenge. Rising is an upgrade. It's the mature answer. When your life becomes better, their theft looks foolish. That is strategy, not spite. When you unlock new work, new peace, new friends, and new doors, you answer their envy with evidence. The best revenge is indifference wrapped in success. Let your wins be quiet and heavy. Let them do the talking. Now, practical matters. If what was taken involves legal rights, money, or safety, act. Take the steps you must. This isn't spiritual bypassing. Being a chosen one doesn't mean you ignore reality. It means you combine wisdom with action. File the papers. Get counsel. But don't let paperwork be your prison. Use every legal and practical channel, and also do the inner work. Work both ends, external and internal. That's how you rebuild fast and with integrity. Finally, remember this: a stolen moment is not a stolen life. Time lost can be reclaimed. Skills can be learned. Trust can be rebuilt on better foundations. The person who believed they rewrote your fate will, in time, realize the true price of their theft. They will see closed doors where they expected open ones. They will meet silence where they expected applause. They will age faster in spirit than you will, because envy burns energy that could have been used to create. Meanwhile, you, quiet, chosen, relentless, will expand into the space they tried to take. So stand tall. Let that first sting be your compass. Let it point you toward work, toward humility, toward the craft you were meant to hone. Don't waste breath cursing the thief. Spend it building a kingdom they will never enter. When your life becomes the answer to their question, you will know you were never the victim, you were the inevitable. Number 2. Betrayal in the inner circle. Betrayal from a stranger is a scratch, but betrayal from a friend is a stab wound. They aimed for your back because they knew you'd never see it coming. Chosen one, this is the kind of pain that doesn't just bruise the heart, it rewrites it. A stranger's insult can sting, but when someone you love, someone you've let into the sacred circle of your life, turns against you, the impact is brutal. It's not the loss of the person or the opportunity that cuts deepest. It's the loss of trust. It's the realization that while you were protecting them, defending them, celebrating them, they were sharpening knives behind your back. And still, here you are, stronger than the betrayal, stronger than the wound. Think about history. Julius Caesar, a leader beloved by his people, was betrayed not by foreign enemies, but by Brutus, a man he called brother. Jesus wasn't sold out by outsiders. It was Judas, one of the chosen 12, who turned him over. In modern times, Steve Jobs was ousted from Apple, the company he built, by people he trusted inside his own circle. But what happened? Caesar became immortalized as a warning, Jesus became a cornerstone of faith for billions, and Jobs came back to transform Apple into the empire we know today. The lesson: betrayal from within isn't the end. It's the confirmation that you are carrying something so powerful, even those closest to you can't resist trying to claim it. Now imagine this. You've built a fire in the middle of a dark forest. That fire gives warmth to everyone around it. But jealousy is cold. Someone sitting beside your flame doesn't want to admit they'd freeze without you. So instead, they spit into your fire, hoping it goes out. For a moment, the flames dim, but fire doesn't die from a little spit. It roars back even stronger, and this time it spreads. That's what happened when they betrayed you. They thought they dimmed you, but all they did was spread your light further than ever before. You might ask, but why them? Why the ones I loved most? Because the enemy outside can't hurt you the same way. A stranger can't access your weaknesses, your secrets, your heart. Only those inside your walls can. And that is why betrayal in the inner circle cuts the deepest. It's strategic, not random. But chosen one, here's the paradox. If betrayal is the proof of weakness in them, it is also the proof of greatness in you. No one robs an empty house. No one betrays someone who has nothing worth stealing. The pain you endured is the receipt of your value. And yes, you may have walked through nights where your chest ached like it was splitting in half. You may have lost sleep, lost weight, even lost faith in people. But understand this: betrayal didn't break you. It revealed them. It exposed who they really were, while it revealed who you were always meant to be. Psychology calls this post-traumatic growth. Science proves that people who endure betrayal often develop sharper intuition, stronger boundaries, and an unshakable sense of self. What your betrayer thought was the end of you was actually the strengthening of your inner compass. Let's tease the enemy for a second. Imagine them now, realizing what they've done. They didn't just lose you, they lost the one person who would have gone to war for them. They didn't just sabotage you, they sabotaged the only bond that gave their life meaning. And now they live in the echo of their choice, replaying it in their minds like a movie that won't stop. They thought they were clever, now they're haunted. But let's pivot back to you. Every chosen one in history has faced betrayal in their circle. It's the tax of greatness. Think of Martin Luther King Jr., betrayed by people in his own movement. Think of Malcolm X, taken down by men he once called allies. Yet their legacies outlived every bullet, every scheme. You are in that lineage. Betrayal did not end you. It enrolled you into the ranks of the unbreakable. And you may wonder, but why does it still hurt sometimes? Because you're human. Because love, once real, doesn't vanish overnight. But remember this, the pain is not your enemy. The pain is your evidence. It's proof that you have a heart large enough to love deeply, which means you also have the power to heal deeply. And healing doesn't make you weaker, it makes you unstoppable. So, what do you do now? You build. You protect your circle more carefully. You value loyalty more than flattery. You learn to test people not by their words, but by their actions. And you use the betrayal not as a story of loss, but as a banner of survival. Every scar becomes part of your armor. Every memory of betrayal becomes fuel for your climb. And here's the sharpest truth of all. Those who betrayed you thought they could live without you. What they didn't realize is that you were the source of their light. Now they wander in shadows while you continue to glow. You were never broken, you were only tempered, and the very people who left you will be forced to watch as you rise higher than they ever imagined. Chosen one, betrayal in the inner circle is the hardest wound to bear, but it is also the most powerful proof that you are chosen. They wouldn't have aimed for your back if they didn't know you were destined to walk ahead of them. They wouldn't have targeted your heart if they didn't know it was stronger than theirs. They wouldn't have left if they didn't secretly know you were always too great to stay at their level. So lift your head. The scar is real. The pain was real. But so is your victory. And the only ones left bleeding are the ones who thought betraying you was a win. Number 3. The breaking point that didn't break you. They thought you were fragile because you bent, but what they didn't realize is that bending isn't breaking. It's the proof you were built to survive storms they could never endure. Chosen one, let's be real. There were nights when your chest felt like it was caving in, nights when the silence was so loud you couldn't breathe. The betrayal pressed down on you like a weight that wouldn't lift. Sleep abandoned you. Food lost its taste. And you questioned if you'd ever feel whole again. That's the breaking point. The place where despair whispers, "This is it. You're finished." But here's the part your enemies didn't count on. You didn't stay there. You walked through fire, and instead of ashes, you came out steel. Now imagine this. Picture a glass dropped on the floor. It shatters instantly, useless. But picture gold in the same fire. The hotter the flame, the purer it becomes. That was you. You weren't glass, though they hoped you were. You were gold, refined by every sleepless night, every tear, every scream no one heard. They thought they had broken you. What they really did was make you unbreakable. Science even confirms this. People who survive deep depression often develop something called post-traumatic growth, an ability to rise sharper, wiser, stronger. The pain rewires the brain, teaching it resilience that can't be learned in comfort. While your enemies sleep in mediocrity, you were being trained in fire. You might ask, but why did it have to hurt this much? Because chosen ones don't rise through easy paths. Greatness has always been born in the shadows of suffering. Think of Abraham Lincoln, who battled depression so heavy he called it the Black Dog, yet carried a nation on his back. Think of Maya Angelou, who endured silence and trauma only to emerge with a voice that shook generations. Your story is cut from the same cloth. Pain was the furnace, resilience was the product. And here's what stings your enemies most. They thought you would crumble. They sat back waiting for your downfall to become permanent. Instead, you've risen in silence with scars that now serve as medals. They're still gossiping, still plotting, still hoping you'll stumble again. But the universe already made its choice. You're chosen, and nothing they do can alter that. Their betrayal was their ceiling. Your survival became your floor. So hold your head high. Yes, you bent. Yes, you almost broke. But you didn't, and that's the part that drives them insane. They threw their best shot, and you're still standing. The universe is with you, chosen one. Leave them in the shadows and keep walking toward the light that was always meant for you. Number 4. The lesson hidden in the loss. The loss you cried over wasn't a punishment. It was the universe handing you the key to a room inside yourself you didn't even know existed. Chosen one, what looked like the greatest theft of your life, was never really about the person, the house, the inheritance, or the opportunity. That was just the costume. The real story was underneath. The universe allowed that moment of loss because it carried a lesson that comfort could never teach you. If they hadn't betrayed you, if that thing hadn't slipped away, you might still be dimming your light, still putting others above yourself, still ignoring the power sitting dormant inside you. Now imagine this for a moment. A seed buried deep in the dark soil could mistake the darkness for death. But it isn't death, it's preparation. Pressure, silence, and soil crack the shell so the sprout can rise. That's what your loss did. It cracked you open. It reminded you of your worth when you had forgotten. It unlocked strength you didn't know you carried. And here's a fact that proves it. Neuroscientists have found that adversity rewires the brain, building new pathways for creativity and problem solving. In other words, hardship doesn't just toughen you, it upgrades you. While your enemies believed they'd ended you, the truth is they gave you the push you needed to evolve. You may ask, but why did it have to come this way? Why through betrayal? Because betrayal wakes you up faster than kindness ever could. Comfort lulls you to sleep. Betrayal snaps you awake. The universe knew you were ready, and it used their envy as the alarm clock. Their jealousy was the tool, but the awakening was always for you. Think of Oprah, fired from her first job, humiliated in front of millions. That loss was really the lesson that her power was too big for someone else's newsroom. Think of Nelson Mandela, stripped of freedom for 27 years. That loss was really the sharpening of his voice into something that could shake the world. Your story mirrors theirs. What they thought was taking something from you was only making room for something greater. And here's what cuts your enemy the most. The lesson you gained from the loss is permanent. You'll never go back to who you were before. They thought they ruined you, but all they did was awaken the giant in you. The universe is with you, chosen one. Let them choke on their envy while you step into the power that was always yours. Number 5. The enemy's true motive, jealousy. Jealousy is the confession of inferiority. They didn't betray you because you were weak. They betrayed you because your light exposed their shadows. Chosen one, let's strip this down to its core. The motive behind everything they did wasn't love, wasn't loyalty, wasn't even survival. It was jealousy. They looked at you and saw what they could never be. Your confidence, your kindness, your ability to shine without even trying. It burned them from the inside, and instead of facing their own emptiness, they tried to dim you. That's the truth about envy. It doesn't attack what's small, it attacks what's great. No one throws stones at a barren tree. People only target the one bearing fruit. Now imagine this. You're a lighthouse on the edge of a stormy sea. Ships look to you for direction, and your glow cuts through the dark. But there's someone standing at the bottom of the cliff, angry that it isn't their light guiding the way. So what do? They throw rocks at the glass, hoping to shatter it. But lighthouses aren't built fragile. They're built to endure storms. And while their stones may crack the surface, your beam still shines across the water, unmoved. That's what your enemy discovered. Their jealousy only proved your strength. Psychologists call envy a self-inflicted wound. It doesn't just destroy relationships, it corrodes the person carrying it. Studies show jealousy is linked to anxiety, insecurity, and even physical stress. In simpler words, your enemy is paying a price for their envy every single day. They thought betraying you would silence their insecurities, but it only amplified them. They're stuck with the weight of comparison while you've been freed into growth. And here's a question you might still ask. Why me? Why did my light bother them so much? Because light forces people to face their shadows. Your success reminded them of their failures. Your love reminded them of their bitterness. Your authenticity reminded them of every mask they wore. And instead of learning from you, they tried to erase you. That is weakness masquerading as power. History repeats this lesson. Mozart was poisoned by envy. Nikola Tesla was sabotaged by jealous rivals. Serena Williams was mocked by competitors who couldn't match her greatness. Yet none of them fell because of envy. They rose because of it. And so will you. Let this burn into your heart, chosen one. Jealousy never wins. It can scream, sabotage, and betray, but in the end, it always exposes itself as weakness. Your enemies revealed their smallness the moment they tried to dim you. And the universe. It chose you to shine regardless. Number 6. Manipulation, lies, and false stories. A lie can run a mile before the truth puts its shoes on, but chosen one, the truth doesn't just catch up, it crushes everything built on deception. Chosen one, the moment your enemy realized your light was too bright to compete with, they turned to the oldest weapons in the book: manipulation, gossip, and slander. They whispered your name in dark corners, twisting your story like a snake around its prey. They built false narratives, hoping to make you look like the villain in a script you didn't write. They spread rumors because they couldn't spread results. They built lies because they couldn't build a life. But here's the cosmic punchline: everything they planted against you was a seed of their own downfall. Picture this for a moment. Someone throws mud at a clear lake, expecting it to stay dirty forever, but mud sinks. The water clears, and the only thing left at the surface is the reflection of the sky. That's what your life did. They hurled mud, slander, half-truths, exaggerations, and for a while it seemed to stick. People doubted you. Opportunities slowed. You even doubted yourself. But lies are temporary. The truth has gravity, and it always rises back to the surface. Science even backs this up. Social psychologists have found that gossip erodes the credibility of the speaker far faster than the target. In other words, the more someone gossips, the less others trust them. That's why, chosen one, the same mouths that spread your name in whispers are now met with raised eyebrows. People are starting to see who they really are and who you really are. You might be wondering, but why didn't they just compete fairly? Why couldn't they just leave me alone? Because manipulation is the crutch of the powerless. Honest competition requires skill, discipline, and self-worth. They lacked all three, so they tried to tilt the board, but the universe doesn't honor cheating. Everything they built on deception is now crumbling. And here's the irony that stings them most. Their lies became your advertisement. Every rumor drove curious eyes to you. Every manipulation pushed you further into self-mastery. Every setback they engineered became training for your comeback. The universe flipped their plot. So stand firm, chosen one. The truth is your ally. Lies might get loud, but truth is permanent. They tried to write your obituary. Instead, they wrote your origin story. And now they're left choking on the dust of the narrative they created. watching you walk taller in the light they tried to block. Number 7. From heartbreak to throne building. They thought heartbreak would bury you, but chosen one, that was the very shovel you used to dig out your throne. Chosen one, let's not sugarcoat it. That heartbreak nearly destroyed you. It stripped you down to nothing, left you gasping in the dark, questioning if you'd ever recover. But what your enemies never understood is this: heartbreak doesn't end a chosen one, it awakens them. That pain you carried, those nights you thought would never end, were the forge. They weren't the final chapter, they were the opening lines of your empire. Now imagine this: a forest fire rages, devouring everything in sight. It looks like total destruction, but science proves that after the flames, the soil becomes richer, more fertile, able to grow life stronger than before. That was you. Your heartbreak was the fire. It burned away illusions, weak attachments, false friends. And what rose from the ashes? A stronger, sharper, fiercer version of you. You didn't just survive, you became a beast. History proves this pattern. Think of Malala Yousafzai, shot for daring to seek education, yet rising to become a global force for change. Think of Nelson Mandela, stripped of freedom for decades, yet stepping out of prison with the authority of a king. Pain didn't crush them, it crowned them, and your story sits in the same lineage. That betrayal wasn't your ending, it was your coronation. You might ask, but why did the throne have to come through suffering? Because comfort never builds kings and queens. Thrones are forged in fire, not in luxury. The universe had to show you the depth of your strength, and heartbreak was the hammer. Without it, you'd still be doubting yourself, shrinking your light to fit the comfort of others. Now, you walk with a presence that cannot be faked, a strength that cannot be bought. And here's what gnaws at your enemies. They thought they destroyed you. Instead, they upgraded you. They're watching the empire you've built, your glow, your growth, your confidence, knowing deep down they played the role of catalyst. Their betrayal built your kingdom. Their jealousy handed you the keys. Their attempt to break you forced you to claim your throne. So sit tall, chosen one. That pain was your coronation robe. That heartbreak was your crown. You don't just rule despite it, you rule because of it. And the ones who betrayed you, they're not sitting on thrones. They're sitting in the cheap seats, forced to watch the kingdom they accidentally built for you. Number 8. Their karma, love lost forever. When they betrayed you, they didn't just lose you, they sentenced themselves to a lifetime without real love. Chosen one, betrayal has a price, and it's one your enemy can't return or refund. The moment they traded your loyalty for envy, they wrote their own curse: love lost forever. They may chase bodies, flirt with replacements, or pretend they've moved on. But what they'll never touch again is the purity of what you gave them. You were the rarest thing in their life, realness. And realness, once lost, doesn't come back. Now imagine this: someone trades a diamond ring for a handful of glitter. At first, the glitter sparkles in the sun, catching eyes and attention. But soon, it fades, sticks to their fingers, and blows away with the wind. Meanwhile, the diamond they tossed aside only grows in value. That's their reality. They threw away the diamond of your love, your loyalty, your presence, and now they're stuck clutching glitter that won't last. Science even agrees. Psychologists have found that people who betray others struggle with intimacy long after. Why? Because betrayal corrodes their ability to trust and to be trusted. They're haunted by the fear that others will do to them what they did to you. And so they live in a cycle of shallow bonds, always looking over their shoulder, never knowing peace. You might ask, but what if they do find someone new? What if they look happy? Understand this. Appearances lie. They can post smiling pictures, act as if they've won, but emptiness doesn't hide for long. What they lost with you wasn't just a person, it was the one who loved them despite their flaws, the one who stood by them even when they didn't deserve it. That kind of love doesn't get replaced. It gets remembered, regretted, and replayed like a ghost that never leaves. And that's the karma, chosen one. They'll never find loyalty again because they proved they didn't know how to value it. They'll never find real love again because they chose envy over authenticity. They will sit in crowded rooms and still feel lonely because deep down they know the truth. You were irreplaceable. So lift your head. Their karma isn't yours to carry. They thought they hurt you, but all they did was exile themselves from the very thing they crave most. You are love, you are loyalty, and the universe made sure they'll spend the rest of their life knowing they lost it forever. Number 9. Lessons they can't escape. They thought betraying you was a shortcut to victory. What they didn't see was that it was the beginning of their own lifelong sentence. Chosen one, the universe doesn't let betrayal slide. Your enemies thought they could cross you and move on as if nothing happened, but that's not how it works. Every decision has a consequence, and theirs was permanent. They may smile in public, laugh in crowds, even flaunt what they took. But when the lights go out, they are left alone with the truth. And the truth is merciless. They didn't destroy you. They destroyed themselves. Now picture this. Someone sets a trap, confident you'll fall into it, but instead they stumble, tripping into their own snare. That's the life of your betrayer. Their lies, their envy, their betrayal, it all circles back. Regret becomes their shadow, following them day and night. They can't escape it. They can't outrun it. Every choice they made against you plays on repeat, like a film they can't turn off. And here's a fact that deepens the wound for them. Psychologists confirm that guilt and regret are two of the heaviest emotions for the human brain to carry. They don't fade with time. They grow. The brain replays mistakes as a way of punishing itself. So while you heal and rise, they are locked in a loop of self-inflicted torment. Their betrayal became their prison. You might ask, but what if they don't look regretful? What if they act like they're thriving? Remember this, regret doesn't always scream. Sometimes it whispers in the quiet. They may look strong in front of others, but in solitude, they feel the hollowness of what they did. Their wins taste bitter, their nights run long, their smiles never reach their eyes. That's the lesson they can't escape. Betrayal doesn't bring power, it brings emptiness. History shows us this truth again and again. Benedict Arnold betrayed his own people and became immortalized as a name synonymous with shame. Judas sold loyalty for coins, but ended with despair too heavy to bear. Modern betrayers face the same fate. No legacy, no peace, only regret. Chosen one, let this strengthen you. While you rise higher, their regret deepens. They thought crossing you was smart. In reality, it was the dumbest move of their life. They can't undo it. They can't erase it. And they will carry that lesson forever, haunted by the realization that betraying you was the moment they lost themselves. Number 10. Your evolution they can't deny. The sweetest revenge isn't revenge at all. It's your evolution, and theirs is the misery of watching you glow in a light they can't dim. Chosen one, this is the part your enemies never prepared for. They thought betrayal would bury you, but instead, it planted you. They thought heartbreak would end you, but instead, it transformed you. And now your evolution stands as a living testimony that the universe was with you all along. They can't deny it, no matter how hard they try. Every time they see you, every whisper they hear about your growth, every success you achieve, it reminds them of the one fact that burns them alive. They lost the best thing they ever had access to. Picture this. A phoenix rising from ashes, its wings brighter than before, its cry echoing across the sky. That's you. You didn't just recover, you reinvented. Where they expected ruins, they now see an empire. Where they expected silence, they now hear your voice stronger than ever. They thought they wrote your ending, but what they really did was write your prologue. Here's the fact that gnaws at them. Psychologists say that growth after trauma is often exponential. The very pain they caused became the force that accelerated you beyond anything they could match. You glowed harder, leveled up faster, and stood taller because of what they did. Your glow isn't just natural, it's weaponized by the universe, and it's blinding them. You might wonder, but do they actually see my growth? Absolutely. Don't let their fake indifference fool you. They scroll your social media, hear your name in conversations, catch glimpses of your smile, your confidence, your wins. And every glimpse is a dagger. They can pretend not to notice, but their silence is louder than applause. Envy doesn't clap, it seethes. History reflects this over and over. Think of Steve Jobs, betrayed and pushed out of Apple, only to return stronger and turn it into a global empire. Think of Taylor Swift, dragged through public betrayal, only to reinvent herself and dominate charts. Greatness rebounds higher than betrayal can reach. And that's what your enemies face now, the undeniable contrast between your rise and their downfall. Chosen one, your evolution is their punishment, your glow is their regret, your strength is their reminder. They can't rewrite it, they can't erase it, and they can't escape it. You leveled up beyond their reach, and the universe made sure your success would be the loudest truth they'll ever hear. Number 11. The decoy they ran off with. They didn't steal your destiny, they ran off with a decoy while the real treasure was being prepared for you. Chosen one, let's lay it bare. What they took from you was never meant to last. It was a test, a setup, a prop placed by the universe to reveal everyone's true character, yours and theirs. They thought they were clever, snatching the thing you loved, the opportunity you fought for, or the person you gave your heart to. They believed they'd left you empty, but all they grabbed was a decoy, something temporary, something designed to separate the false from the real. Now imagine this for a moment. A child reaches into a magician's hat, pulling out a shiny object, believing they've captured the magic. But the true trick, the real prize, is hidden deeper, out of their reach. That's what happened here. They grabbed the shiny object at the surface and ran. Meanwhile, the universe was already setting aside the real magic for you, the thing they'll never touch or even see. This is a cosmic pattern as old as time. History is full of people who grabbed what wasn't theirs, only to discover later it was hollow. Think of the rivals who tried to sabotage inventors, only to end up forgotten while the real creator changed the world. Think of Joseph in the old stories, thrown into a pit by his own brothers, only to rise to a throne they could never sit on. Over and over again, the decoy becomes the betrayer's curse, while the chosen one ascends to something far greater. And here's the part that burns them most. They don't even enjoy what they took. Because it wasn't meant for them, it won't bring them peace. That relationship they stole turns toxic. That opportunity they snatched turns sour. That inheritance they manipulated to get turns into a burden. It's like drinking salt water. The more they consume, the thirstier they become. Meanwhile, your table is being set in silence. You might be asking, But why did I have to lose it first? Why couldn't the universe just give me the real thing? Because, chosen one, you needed to learn the difference between what glitters and what's gold. You needed to see who would betray you before your true blessing arrived. The decoy was the screening process. The loss was the lesson. The real thing, the throne, the relationship, the opportunity, is still waiting for you, untouchable, unspoiled. So let them cling to their decoy. Let them smile in public, pretending they've won. You know the truth. They grab the bait, and you're being prepared for the banquet. The universe never gives your crown to someone else. It only exposes their hands before handing it to you. Number 12. Watching from the sidelines. They didn't just betray you, they wrote themselves out of the story. Now their only role is to sit in the audience while you take center stage. Chosen one, this is the cruelest twist of all for your enemies. They wanted to play the star. They wanted your role. They wanted your light. But their betrayal didn't cast them into glory. It chained them to the sidelines. And now they are stuck as spectators, powerless to change the ending, forced to watch you rise higher than they ever imagined. That's the universe's justice. They plotted to humiliate you, but the stage was never theirs. The spotlight was always yours. Picture this for a moment. A person cheats in a marathon, hopping fences and cutting corners, thinking they've won. But when the medals are handed out, their name isn't called. Instead, they're shoved to the bleachers, left sweating and bitter, watching the runner they mocked cross the finish line with honor. That's them, chosen one. They cheated, they schemed, they betrayed, and now they're only left with a view of your victory from the cheap seats. Science even speaks to this. Regret, especially from betrayal, activates the same pain centers in the brain as physical injury. That means every time they see your glow, every time they hear your name, their brain registers it like another wound. They thought they were done hurting you, but in truth, they condemned themselves to a lifetime of invisible pain. And don't think for a second they don't notice your evolution. They see it. They hear the whispers about your success. They scroll past your wins online. They feel your energy even in silence. And each time they're reminded, that could have been my blessing if I hadn't betrayed them. That's the torment they can't escape. You might wonder, but do they really regret it? Do they care at all? Oh, chosen one, regret is carved into their bones. They may act unbothered, but inside they're restless, because betrayal can't be undone. Bridges burned don't rebuild themselves. They know they can never step back into your circle, never reclaim your loyalty, never taste the love and light they threw away. Their punishment isn't some loud explosion. It's the quiet torture of watching your life bloom while theirs withers. So stand tall, don't look back. Let them stay on the sidelines, because that's exactly where the universe put them. They had their chance to stand beside you, but jealousy made them throw it away. Now all they can do is watch your rise, powerless to undo the choices that ruined their life. And that, chosen one, is the sweetest justice of all. And chosen one, as we close this message, remember this. Everything they did to destroy you only secured your rise. Betrayal became your awakening. Heartbreak built your throne. And now their only role is to watch from the sidelines while you shine. The universe was always on your side, and your story proves it. So if this message spoke to you, don't leave without giving back. Hit that like, press subscribe, and drop the number 77 in the comments to claim your power. And share this message with others, because chosen ones rise together, and your light helps spread the truth.